go to Rome to pay a visit to San Andrea del Frater Church. There you will be able to see a beautiful painting of Our Lady exactly at the spot where she appeared to St. Alphonse Ratisbonne, thus performing such a miraculous conversion. The conversion of the young Jewish banker that shook 19th century Europe. And if you have troubles finding it, ask around. The Italians know the place as La Madonna del Miracolo. Yes, for since that day, an altar was erected there, dedicated to Our Lady of the Miracle. Alphonse had undoubtedly a very promising future ahead of him. While spending some days in the Eternal City, he visited many monuments, famous ruins, as well as some churches. On the vesper of his departure, merely as a social obligation, Ratisbonne went to pay a visit to Baron Theodore de Bouziers, the brother of an old friend of his. To avoid the inconvenience, Alphonse decided to write a brief note on the back of one of his business cards to be left to the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper, perhaps not understanding well the accent of the foreigner, immediately announced his arrival to the owner of the house. Baron Theodore de Bouziers, a recent convert from the Protestant religion, was a fervent Catholic and a fiery apostle. He did not want to lose the opportunity to gain that soul for God.
Near the Castellum, I felt as if I was touched by a deep and unfathomable sensation. Even the guide realized my perplexity and wondered if I preferred to go back to the hotel. But of course, it must be a common feeling, I guess, especially with young tourists like myself.
That is not uncommon indeed. Who knows? Who knows, my dear Alphonse? There certainly just might be a grace from God calling you to conversion.
Oh no, I will never become a Catholic. A Jewish I am, and a Jewish I shall die.
The discussion was about to turn into an argument. Nevertheless, de Bouziers had a sudden idea, and many would just call sheer madness.
Well, since you have such a superior and strong spirit, and you're so secure of yourself, promise me that you shall wear around your neck a gift I would like to give you.
Let's see, what is it?
Nothing, is just a medal.
What?
Well, according to your way of thinking, it will do nothing to you, and by wearing it, you will make me very pleased.
Oh, fine. It will be very amusing to have with my notes, and if I want to be any harm, it will not do me any good.
Not only that, every day you must say a beautiful prayer made by St. Bernard called the Memorare.
That I will not do. I think we're getting too far, my dear Baron.
Oh, well, here, do me a favor at least. Read it once and write down a copy. As a mere souvenir of your visit, I shall keep your copy and you shall keep mine.
Oh, fine. Getting very amusing. You keep my copy, I keep yours.
At his hotel, very tired, he carelessly copied the prayer without even paying attention. Next morning, he was surprised by the fact that the words of the prayer seemed to have overtaken his spirit.
I could not defend myself. I kept on repeating them over and over again.
De Bouziers, meanwhile, certain that sooner or later God would open Alphonse's eyes, went to visit him at the hotel. Not finding him, Theodore left a note inviting Ratisbonne to return to his house in the evening. Alphonse arrived at the Baron's house once again for a visit.
Good evening, my dear Alphonse. I'm glad to see you back at my home.
The pleasure is all mine. I only hope we do not discuss religion again. Although, I just came to tell you, I leave tomorrow for Naples.
You depart tomorrow? Never! On Monday there is a solemn pontifical mass at St. Peter's Basilica, celebrated by the Pope himself.
The Pope? What do I care of your Pope?
Upon de Bouziers' insistence, promising to bring him around some of the remarkable places in Rome, he ended up managing to delay his departure. So off they went to visit palaces, churches, and works of art. Although nothing seemed to change in Ratisbonne's mind, the untiring de Bouziers, though, had the innermost certainty that one day Alphonse would be. Alphonse decided to enter the church while waiting, and strolled around carelessly, looking around without stopping, without any thoughts in particular. Upon returning, de Bouziers could not find his friend. While searching for him in the church, he saw to his astonishment an unbelievable scene in front of him. Ratisbonne was on his knees, praying in front of the altar in a faraway corner of the church. Approaching, he signaled Alphonse several times.
Alphonse!
There was no response. Finally realizing his presence, Ratisbonne turned to him, his eyes bathed in tears, his hands folded in prayer, and then he exclaimed,
"How much the Count has prayed for me!"
Speechless, Theodore felt as if he were facing a biblical miracle. Ratisbonne slowly stood up, kissed the medal several times, saying,
"How good God is! He is full of many graces and blessings."
Radiant with joy, Ratisbonne asked his friend to bring a confessor. He then asked that it would be possible to be baptized, without which he could not live longer. After kissing the medal several times, Alphonse exclaimed,
I saw her. After some moments alone in the church, I suddenly felt touched by a deep, infathomable sensation. There, the church seemed to be all lit up. All the lights seemed to be fixed on one of the side chapels. There, amidst the rays of light, stood the most beautiful Virgin Mary. All the light seemed to be coming from her hands. She called to me, but I could not move. I could not hear her, but I understood everything. She is on an altar just as in the middle.
It was January 20th, 1842. 12 years earlier, in one of her apparitions to St. Catherine Laborie, Our Lady showed the way. She wanted her new medal to be made. She said, "You must make a medal according to this model. The people who will wear it will be blessed with a special protection from the Mother of God." Then a luminous oval was formed around the Holy Virgin in the form of a medal. On the circumference was written the words, "O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to thee." The rings on her fingers projected rays